Okay, next.
How was the haughty manner of the daughters of Zion described? Stretch forth necks and wanted, wanting eyes. 316.
Okay. Those are the wanton eyes, which is not a good thing. So you might also have mincing as they go and tinkling feet. Number 9.
When the Lord comes, there will be a stink instead of sweet smell, a rent instead of a girdle, baldness instead of well-set hair, girding of sackcloth instead of a stomacher, and burning instead of beauty. 3 verse 24.
Okay.
Not a good condition to be in.
Yeah. Doesn't sound very appealing, yeah, that's for sure.
Well, that's just the finest fashion these days.
What is the girding of a stomacher? Or instead of a stomacher?
I was thinking that was more like a sash, waistband, not waistband, but big white belts. That's about the closest I can come.
Yeah.
Not kind of like a corset, but not quite.
Almost, but not quite. I don't remember now which dictionary I was looking at, but the stomacher is sackcloth. And so.
Well, that kind of seems odd. There's a girding of sackcloth and then a.
Replacing the stomacher.
Girding of sackcloth instead of a stomacher, then a stomacher couldn't be sackcloth. Because that wouldn't make sense.
Well,
ASV says instead of a robe, the girding of sackcloth. Oh.
According to Strong's, it says probably a mantle for holidays. And it's an uncertain derivation.
Another one says beautiful robe, there'll be clothing of sorrow.
Brown Driver Briggs says rich or expensive robe. How would they put a stuff on?
You have to ask King James. But,
yeah. Okay.
sounds like one of those things.
The ancient Hebrew says robe, an expensive robe.
And Derby says robe of display, girding of sackcloth. A lot of these say robe.
Okay.
Yep.
Number 10.
Instead of a nice thing, but not.
What purpose would the tabernacle serve after Judah purged wickedness? For a shadow and a day,
time, he place, refuge, worship.
And you got a scripture reference?
He said 4.
I see. I'm sorry. A shadow in the daytime, a place of refuge, and a covert from storm or rain. Any questions or comments on the first 10? And that makes us ready then for the true false. Number 1.
And the back at me. Judah was weak, without silver, gold, or horses and chariots. False. 2, 7. Wish I didn't do the wrong. False. Judah was weak.
Okay, number 2.
Children would be princes, and babes would be rulers over proud Judah. True. 3, 4.
Okay. That doesn't sound like an appealing situation.
And we all know how children make decisions and how babies base things off.
Number 3.
Though the wicked were punished, it would be well with the righteous. That is true. 3 verses 10 and 11.
Okay.
Seven women would plead to bear the name of one man. True. 4, 1.
And number 5.
There would be none left in Jerusalem after this purging of the Lord. False. 4, 3.
Question or comment?
What a condition to be in.
Yeah. Research question.
I don't know.
That's why you were supposed to research it.
Because research had a funding.
Well, Levi, you want to help him out?
Jeremiah 23, verse 5, and 33, verse 15. Isaiah 11, verses 1 through 5, and 53, verse 2. It is referring to Jesus, and why is this description fitting? And I said, John 15, verses 1 through 6, where Jesus uses the term, I am the vine.
Okay.
He was the root of death. He was a descendant of David, therefore, the branch of the root, stemming from the root of the tree of Jesse, tree of David. A lot of times in our genealogies, we often picture it as a family tree.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
What it is?
it almost seems that that's where we get the symbolism from.
Yeah,
You know?
could be. Did you have Isaiah 60, verse 21?
I did not.
I
Just equip the two, Isaiah 11, 1 through 5, and then 53, verse 2.
Okay. And now comes the thought question. Make an application of Isaiah 2 through 4, showing how it is fulfilled in the establishment of the Lord's church. You going to take adventure at that, Ezra? You're going to decline, huh?
Isaiah 60.
Like you, okay?
Well, not 100% certain about the application part, but I remember what I was thinking. But, how it's fulfilled in the establishment of the church, well, prophecy is about the establishment of the church, so God already did. I mean, this was my thinking. Yeah.
Okay. My response. So the law went forth from Jerusalem. People from every nation heard the word, obeyed the gospel. Acts chapter 2, verse 5, verse 38, verse 41, verse 47, chapter 8, verse 1 and 4.
There's plenty more.
There is?
Sure, you can find plenty more scriptures.
Well, there were potentially more than one correct answer.
Yeah.
And
It was kind of a free-for-all question.
well, in chapter 2 through 4, it talked about that all nations would flow unto it. Many people shall go up and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And I kind of focus on verse 3, but the word did indeed go forth from Jerusalem, and people from every nation obeyed the gospel. In Acts chapter 2, verse 5, is where it says that there are Jews from every nation. But when you go to chapter 8, verse 4 in particular, it references the idea that when they were persecuted, they were scattered abroad, and what did they do? They didn't run and hide, and they're being scattered abroad. They very plainly said, went everywhere preaching the gospel. And so that was kind of my thought. Any questions or comments further?
And I used in Matthew 16, 17 to 19, Jesus said, I will build my church. And I went to the Acts 2, Acts 8, Colossians 1:12 through 14, how we've been translated into the kingdom of his dear son. 1 Peter 2:1 through 9, uh, building up into the royal priesthood, the building of the kingdom, that type of thing. Hebrews 3:1 through 6. To apply that all nations.
Okay. If there's no other questions or comments, we'll move to page 20. This is lesson number 4. It covers chapters 5 and 6 of Isaiah. So we'll do as we have been doing, reading a paragraph and moving on. Well, let's see. Levi. Amos, we'll let you start.
A. The vision of God's throne, 6:1 through 4. Verse 1. Isaiah dates his vision as being in the year King Uzziah.
Yeah, you're on the page.
Isaiah 5:6. Jerusalem of the last days will be unlike the present Jerusalem. Chapters 2 through 5. D. The song of the Lord's vineyard, 5:1 through 7. Verses 1 through 2. This song depicts in parable form the relationship between God and his people. The nation of Israel is compared to a vineyard which was planted in a fertile place and given every possible provision to proceed or produce the choicest fruit instead of a good crop. The vineyard had produced rotten fruit in spite of the advantages, care, and attention given to it. The nation of Israel had failed to glorify God. Cross-reference Psalms 88 through 16, Jeremiah 2:21, Ezekiel 19:10 through 14.
Okay. So he uses the natural process of the spoiling of fruit to illustrate the condition of Israel. And note that in spite of all the advantages, care, and attention given to the nation of Israel, given to it, the nation of Israel had failed to glorify God. And so, in failing to glorify God, then they were represented by the spoiling fruit. And as you look at Israel in historically, Uh, it shows very plainly that they've had every advantage and yet failed to glorify God. Question or comment?
Kind of funny, the chapter heading is God's disappointing vineyard. Kind of an amusing way of saying it. Yeah. And Skylar says hi.
Is it what?
Skylar says hi.
Oh,
He's watching on the kids.
okay. Hi, Skylar.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead.
God has been depicted as a husbandman of the vineyard
Okay.
in multiple places, not just, I mean, he's depicted here, but also Jesus refers to him as the husbandman. So, and Paul specifically says, you are God's vineyard or garden. Oh, that was pronounced. He is the husband. Was that in the moment? Anyway, it's like the first part of the book. Yeah, so it's kind of normal. Hi, Debbie.
Okay, next.
Verses 3 through 6 of Isaiah 5, the Lord calls upon them to decide whose fault it was. What more could the Lord have done in the vineyard that he had not done? Since only worthless fruit had been produced, is he not righteous to dig it up, to lay it waste, and to destroy the vineyard?
So how would you respond to that? Question. Rhetorical question, I guess, is what I was looking for, but
Yeah, what more could the Lord have done?
is he not righteous to dig it up and lay it waste and destroy the vineyard?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. He's the creator of it. He's free to do with it as he will. But also, there comes a time when you got to throw the fruit out and
Start over again.
Start over.
Till it up and start over again.
Yeah.
Israel had forgotten there, and maybe I should say it's true even today. People forget the owner has rights. The owner of the property, a lot of times we say possession is 9/10 of the law, but the owner is the one that has the rights to do with his property, his stuff as he sees fit. Just like the artist or the potter, as I think he gets later into the parables, has the right to do with his stuff, his merchandise, what he wants to do. He created it. He produced it. It's his, and nobody else has the right to tell him what to do with his own stuff.
Unless there's a pipeline.
Huh?
I said unless there's a pipeline.
I think a lot of us can relate to how he was feeling, especially those of us who have grown gardens. It really doesn't matter. I've tried to make a product and the best, giving it all, and it turns out bad. I think a lot of us can relate. But take it down. It's down.
Okay. Next.
Verse 7. The interpretation and application of the parable is now clearly identified when the Lord looked for justice and righteousness in Israel and Judah. He found only a crop of oppressed and cries in distress, therefore flows to our mouths against the nation.
Okay. He found only a crop of oppression and cries of distress. Here again, it's a bleak situation, and God has invested a lot in working with the children of Israel. And I think it's safe to say that in these verses he's talking about Israel and Judah, the combined kingdom.
Yeah, verse 7. It says, "For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are his pleasant pleasure." So, he includes them in there.
Yeah, okay. And because of what he found, the woes were pronounced against the nation. Any questions or comments over section D?
He wasn't mincing any words.
Okay.
He called them out. Directly told them.
A lot of times we do what we can as gardeners to encourage proper fruit, and we see for example, tomatoes that have blossom end rot or on it. We try to fix that. Well, God sent the prophets trying to get Israel to come back and to fix their mistakes, produce good, righteous fruit, and they just did not eat. And there came a point in time when it's just like, okay, all I'm getting from you is lousy fruit. It's rotten, it's spoiled, it's
Not worth anything.
not. Harvest is done. Since every fruit on your vine is nothing but oppression and woes, the axe is laid at the root.
I think somebody said that. The axe lieth at the root. Okay. I guess we're ready for Hosea.
6 woes upon the wicked, verses 5:8 through 23. Against insatiable greed for land and houses. 5:8 through 10. Chapter 5, 8 through 10. Verses 8 and 10. Covetousness prevents contentment. Greedy landowners buy all the property, they can until finally they have a monopoly and no room is left for the poor. Those who add house to house and field to field will be punished with desolation and barren crops, which produced only 1/10 as much as that which was sown.
That would be a pretty small return on investment there.
Came back to the negative.
Only 1/10 as much as was sown. So if they sowed a pound, they would have reaped only 1.6 ounces.
That's not enough to cover a pound worth of land.
Yeah.
They can't even reseed what they lost next year.
Okay. It is a good thing our God is so patient, loving, and forgiving. Insatiable, what's it mean?
Unsatisfiable. Unsatisfiable.
Okay.
Never satisfied.
Yeah.
Kind of like mosquitoes.
Oh. I assure you they have their reward.
They're never satisfied.
Number 2.
Against uncontrolled and frivolous living.
Frivolous.
Trivias.
5:11 through 17. Verses 11 through 12. Dissipated lives have under or another master than the Lord. Though they rise early and stay up late, they are possessed by the desire for strong drink and the luxuries of life in their uncontrolled pursuit of frivolous living. They give no regard to the warnings from the Lord.
Okay. Man really hasn't changed a lot, has he?
Nope.
Dissipated lives. What is a dissipated life?
I guess you could say there wasn't much to their life.
Okay.
Squandered. Frittered away,
Okay.
according to the dictionary.
Okay.
Waste.
To dissipate something means to
Cause to disappear.
that's good. Cause to disappear.
Like coffee.
Yeah, like coffee.
We often say it in reference to like fog. Like dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have it.
So then the dissipated lives have another master than the Lord? Even though they do those things that you would think that would result in good, It doesn't. To rise up early and to stay up late, well, that kind of describes some occupations that thrive on that, but it doesn't work. They are possessed by the desire for strong drink and the luxuries of life. Man hasn't changed much. Next.
Verses 13 and 14. Blinded by misplaced values, their ignorance of God's ways will cause them to go into captivity and death. Confirm or cross-reference Ephesians 4, verses 18 and 19.
Okay.
Which Ephesians 4, 18 and 19 says, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness to work all uncleanness with greediness.
Okay. Not a good proposition, not a good course to follow.
Kind of a, don't be that guy sort of thing.
Okay. Don't be that guy. Next.
Verses 15 through 17. The Lord will be exalted at the same time he humbled and abases the proud. The righteousness of God will be revealed in his mighty acts of judgment.
Okay. He humbles and abases the proud. I can't remember the last time I heard the word abases.
In the last football
Baseball game, yeah, in the World Series.
round
Yeah.
the bases. must have been a commentator.
Yeah. I think it means to bring low. And that fits the context. He humbles and abases the proud. He brings it low.
I kind of just mentally picture just putting something at the base of something. So you bring a man down to the base of the floor, bring him up.
Okay.
That's how I mentally remember what that word means.
Like the dictionary defines it as behave in a way that belittles or degrades.
Okay.
Degrade them.
Put them up.
Downgrade them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to recognize that the righteousness of God will be revealed in his mighty acts of judgment. And we can put our confidence in him to do the right thing, to be righteous in his acts of judgment. And the righteousness of God sometimes is difficult to describe or to comprehend. But he has assured us that he is righteous and just. We'll begin with number 3, page 21 next time.